Let me tell you right now.
Go for it.
Look, I can only, whatever I end up doing, I'm basing everything that I have only and solely on my fellow Iranians and their resources. Nothing foreign, governmental or otherwise. The image of me coming along with a foreign leader simply means that I'm a puppet of that government or country. I don't want President Trump to come and say, I endorse Reza Pahlavi. I need President Trump and say, I will stand with the Iranian people and on their side and help them succeed.
He's already said that.
Okay, but that's halfway. As I said, the components of maximum support is missing. If that is added, fair enough, Mr. President. We're not asking you to go beyond that. The rest is on us. But at least you've given us a real chance for succeeding.
I think he's done that.
Well, let's see. That's the question.
No, I think he's done. He's already done that.
Maximum pressure, yes. Maximum support was not really existent. We need to build that into the equation.
Maximum support.
More direct support for the Iranian people. Give them
the money.
A chance. It could be technology. It can be communication.
Well,
it could be many
Elon
things.
can give Starlink and those types of things.
Well,
that can happen.
There's been well, it's under his watch. I mean, look, you can easily sanction. You can easily remove some of the restrictions that exist so we can better help. This is a matter of policy.
Did you see the story that just came out 45 minutes before we started the interview? I don't know if you saw the story or not. Literally just came out from New York Post 45 minutes before you walked in. Iran claims it can build nukes, threatens Israel and U.S. with tooth-breaking retaliation, 10-12 Eastern Standard Time. I think we started after that at 11 o'clock. Go a little low, Rob. So Iran claimed it could build a nuclear weapon as supreme leader on Saturday, threatened the U.S. and Israel with tooth-breaking response to Israel's strike on Iranian military. Legend Ayatollah Khamenei spoke with students ahead of the anniversary of 1979 seizure of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. The enemies, whether the Zionist regime or the United States of America, will definitely receive a tooth-breaking response to what they are doing to Iran and the Iranian nation and to the resistance front. And he continues, if you go, this is at 85 years old, go a little lower, Rob, if you could. And the comments came after Devo top advisor issued a warning about Iran's nuclear capabilities. Advisor Kamal Gharazi said Friday the country could alter its policies on using nuclear weapons if the threat seems big enough. Go a little lower. If an existential threat arises, Iran will modify its nuclear doctrine. We have the capability to build weapons and have no issue in this regard, he said. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this was yesterday, and he basically said we're only limited by a fatwa that has forbidden us to go towards that direction. In other words, we can change that any time. But in that context, let's remember one thing. How fragile and vulnerable this regime is. They are basically puffing and huffing a lot, but the fragility of this regime comes down to Ali Khamenei himself, who, by the way, he is the one who is the problem, not the people of Iran. Iranian people don't want war. He does. But he's, imagine a tent, and he is the pylon or the, whatever you call it, that keeps the tent up. The minute is gone or is weakened, it will collapse. There are too many fractions within the regime fighting over power and inheritance. This is going to become even more relevant. You cannot depend, until now it's been Ali Khamenei having the final word and controlling every aspect of Iran's structure, whether it's the intelligence, whether it's the military, whether it's the Sepah, whether it is all the instruments under his watch. I don't think that his successors, including his son, will be able to maintain that apparatus of state any longer. Which goes back to your question: how did they survive for 45 years? Because this has been, and unlike the Soviet Union, who, by the way, had several different leaders, from Leonid Brezhnev all the way to the last one being, of course, Mikhail Gorbachev, before Yeltsin finally came in. Iran has had only one leader since Khomeini, and that was Ali Khamenei. So you're talking about an absolute religious dictatorship under the control of one ultimate man at the top of the pyramid. That will collapse eventually. So these are opportunities that will present itself to the Iranian people. You'll also understand what I was arguing earlier, that this regime will continue. Now, regardless of what kind of a nuclear deal you may have with them, it will continue fomenting regional conflict. It will continue taking hostages. It will continue supporting, all sorts of other methods. That's not going to disappear.
The hate towards U.S. is not good. The hate towards U.S. and Israel is not going away.
And that's the part that I think you need to understand, that even if you say, you know what, we don't need to get involved in the Middle East anymore. Well, they won't leave you alone. They will, in fact, force you. And the chances that you'll be forced back into the equation, this time dealing with a much higher state of conflict, will come down in the long term. So I am with you on this, Patrick, that this is now a moment that we need to be able to utilize. I think the Iranian people are ready more than ever. I hope that our counterpart, as far as one foreign key government is concerned, America, is also ready, only in the sense that that paradigm that has shifted in Iran proper needs to also shift in Washington in terms of foreign policy. Are we still talking about appeasement or dealing with the regime or trying to ask for a behavior change? Or are we this time saying we have their backs to the wall, let's throw the knockout punch? Not by America doing it for us, but by helping the Iranians have the best chance to succeed. And that's all we're asking for at the end of the day.